Rahul is really a nice guy, I felt. I mean, he's the kind of person you would call a proper friend material. Always in a funny mood, yet he seemed quite mature and thoughtful from our conversation during the ride. He started the conversation by saying, "So you and Avik work for the same team?" I replied, No, I don't even know which project he is working on." He asked curiously, "Oh, then how did you become friends?" I replied, "We met at an office event." Now he smiled and asked, "This morning he was with you?" With a little hesitation, I replied, "Yes." He said, "Don't worry, I'm not going to ask anything personal. It's just that we are childhood friends and I have this habit of guiding him by finding out what he is doing." I laughed and replied, "No, it's fine, but why does he need so much guidance, if you don't mind me asking?" He replied a little seriously, "He is a little immature. He looks like a very serious, mature person, but he often doesn't take things seriously. Me and Akash are the ones to help him correcting things." I asked curiously, "Like?" He answered, "Like last time he quit his job without another offer and then got depressed and all." I replied with a dim voice, "Oh, okay." Then he continued, "But he's a good guy, very helpful and understanding. He understands everyone except himself." I asked, "Nice. What else?" He smiled and said, "That's something you will tell me." I got confused and said, "I didn't get you." He smiled and asked, "Are you a very serious person?" I replied with a smile, No, it's just that I get nervous quickly." He laughed and said, "Okay, don't get nervous. I was just kidding you." We reached my place after talking for a few more minutes and then he left with a good night wish. I went to my room, changed, freshened up, and lay on the bed. It was around 2 a.m. and I could not sleep again. It was not like I was nervous or tense about something. I was not even thinking about Avik, but I still felt some anxiety. Suddenly my phone rang. It was Avik. I picked it up and he asked, "Hi, slept?" I replied, "No." He asked, "Thinking about me?" I replied, "No. Why should I think about you at 2 a.m.?" He said, "You tell me." I thought he might get offended if I asked so, but the way he said that last sentence made me feel like I should surrender. So I replied, "Are you angry with me?" He replied, "Yes." I said a little emotionally, "I'm sorry." He said, "I wanted to drop you off, but you didn't let me." I replied, "You are drunk." He offended, saying, "So was Rahul." I replied, "Okay, sorry." He said with a naughty tone, "Not accepted." I smiled and replied, "How can it be accepted?" He asked a little seriously, "Will you do whatever I say to get it accepted?" I replied nervously, "I'll try." He said, "Let's go for a long drive." Little shocked with this proposal, I replied, "You must be tired, Ravik. You have not rested at all from morning till now." He said in a confident way, "I am not going to listen to this excuse. We are going for it." Trying to resisting him, I said, "Can we go tomorrow?" But he replied like a kid, "No, today only." I thought for a minute and then said, "Okay, you come." He replied, "I'm waiting outside your apartment. Get ready and come." I was shocked again and said, "What?" He smiled and said, "Yes, madam." I smiled and said, "Are you mad or what?" He said, "We'll discuss about that on the way. Just come now." I replied, "Okay, let me get ready." Now he said like a kid again, "Wear that sari again, please." I said, "Are you serious? It will take quite time for me in that case. He said in a flirting way, take your time. I can wait as long as you want. I smiled and said, okay. I got ready and came downstairs, and it was around 2:45 am. I could not see anyone around. He was on a bike this time, and without any further words, he started the ride. After 30 minutes, we reached a roadside tea shop. It was a little far from corporate Bangalore, as I could not see the high buildings anymore. We started having tea, and the way he was looking at me made my heart race faster. Then he smiled and said, you are looking beautiful. I replied, thanks. He asked, this is the first time you are out of your room at this time of night, right? I replied, yes. He asked curiously, why are you so silent? I replied a little emotionally, I don't know. Honestly speaking, I am quite scared. He came closer and asked, scared of what? I said, you know, Avik, I am quite emotional. He replied confidently, yes, I know, you are emotional and shy too. I continued saying, and I am scared of my emotions. He took his chair closer to mine, placed his hand on mine, and said, sometimes you need to feel today instead of worrying about tomorrow. The way you treat your today may bring a better tomorrow for you. I started looking into his eyes, and my eyes welled up with a little bit of tears. He said, I think you are tired today. I should let you sleep now. Let's get back. Our long drive will be pending for another day. I did say anything, and he dropped me off at my apartment. I lay down and tried to fall asleep after thinking about a few things for a few minutes, as I was really tired.